mice, but the studies on mice found that sleep helps clear toxic molecules from the brain. So not getting enough sleep regularly could impair your brain's ability to keep the nervous system clear. Sign number 5, you're having trouble making decisions. And this kind of ties in. You might think, well, this is kind of opposite of you're impulsive, isn't it? Because impulse just means you make all kinds of decisions. Yeah, but you're not actually thoroughly thinking out your decisions. You're just, ooh, this sounds fun. Ooh, this sounds fun. Ooh, this sounds fun. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Squirrel. You're just acting. You're not thinking about the decisions. You're using that what some people would refer to as the lizard brain. And yeah, I don't want to get into the whole weird conspiracy of, like why they call it a lizard brain or whatever. But it's the whole thing of where you're just reacting. You're not thinking about things. Kind of like how animals, generally, they just have instincts. They don't logic. And yes, I just used logic as a verb. Continuing on, trouble making decisions. If you've been finding it harder than usual to manage projects at work or home, lack of sleep could be the culprit. Someone named Baron, who I don't recall having seen the name earlier in the article. I'm not seeing the name Baron anywhere in this article prior to this mention, but someone named Baron says sleep deprivation can affect speed and higher level cognitive processing. That means essential functions like problem solving or time management become even more difficult to carry out. There was a 2009 study in sleep where researchers asked both sleep-deprived and well-rested volunteers to perform a series of tasks that required quick decision-making. They did this 2 times. Between testing, the accuracy of those without quality sleep went down 2.4%, while the rested group improved their accuracy by 4.3%. So you combine the 4.3% increase to the 2.4% decrease, and you wind up having a 6.7% better performance when you get quality sleep, which that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but it winds up adding up, especially if you do like compound fractions, and I realize that's not a fraction, but the compounding of percentages and whatnot, it does wind up adding up to be pretty significant in the long run. Continuing on, all in all, people with poor sleep have a hindered ability to react quickly, which also means that your motor skills are going to be off. Yes, tripping over a step might make you a klutz, but do it a few times in a day and it might just mean you're too tired to really focus on what you're doing. Dr. Winter says when you're tired, there's a lapse in how you neurologically function in general. With lowered reaction time and concentration also comes more difficulty with movement. When you walk up and down stairs, there's a lot of processing going on. When you're sleep deprived, you can't process particularly well. And let's just talk about walking up and down a set of stairs. You might think it's very easy to lift foot, move foot, put foot down, lift foot, move foot, put foot down. And as far as what you're, consciously doing, yeah, that's it. But your brain also has to figure out the balance and hold the guardrail, move, all kinds of things. So there's a lot going on walking up or down stairs. So yeah, it's going to be easy when your motor skills are off to wind up falling on some stairs or on a flat surface. Stay tuned.
In 1999, Darryl W. Perry began a search for traditional values, which led him down a path to the ideas of liberty. He tells the story in A Rebel's Journey, My Path to Liberty. Of the book, Dr. Brian Sovereign says, "Sometimes it's funny, and sometimes I think it's crazy, but it's always authentic." Find A Rebel's Journey, My Path to Liberty by
The Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, February 22nd, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.51 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,324 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $36, and the average price of Bitcoin is $9,940. Antiwar.com reports the rebel-held Damascus suburb of eastern Ghouta continues to get pounded by Syrian forces while the rebels have launched intermittent shelling hitting targets in the capital city. The death toll continues to rise. Over the past 72 hours, at least 310 people have been killed in the area with over 1,500 wounded. The wounded include over 700 in dire need of treatment, which naturally overwhelmed the local hospitals. The UN and other aid groups are pushing for a ceasefire on humanitarian grounds as the situation continues to worsen, and civilians desperately need to be evacuated from some of the most heavily targeted areas. Getting aid into eastern Ghouta also needs to be a priority, with a substantial convoy arriving last week and raising hopes for a new influx, but the recent flurry of airstrikes means that more convoys simply can't safely get in.
For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
Reuters reports Venezuelans reported losing an average of 24 pounds in body weight last year, and almost 90% now live in poverty, according to a new university study on the impact of a devastating economic crisis and food shortage. The annual survey, published on Wednesday by 3 universities, is one of the most closely followed assessments of Venezuelans' well-being amid a government information vacuum, and shows a steady rise in poverty and hunger in recent years. Over 60% of Venezuelans surveyed said that during the previous 3 months they had woken up hungry because they did not have enough money to buy food. About 1/4 of the population was eating 2 or fewer meals per day, according to the study. Last year, the 3 universities found that Venezuelans said they had lost an average of 18 pounds during 2016. This time, the study's dozen investigators surveyed 6,168 Venezuelans between the ages of 20 and 65 across the country of 30 million people. After winning the presidency in 1999, leftist President Hugo Chavez was proud of improving Venezuela's social indicators due to oil-fueled welfare policies. But his successor, President Nicolas Maduro's rule since 2013 has coincided with a deep recession due to failed state-led economic policies and the plunge in global oil prices. Wednesday's study flagged Venezuelans' deteriorating diets, which are deficient in vitamins and protein, as currency controls restrict food imports, hyperinflation eats into salaries, and people line up for hours to buy basic things like flour. Maria Ponce, one of the study's investigators, told a news conference at the Andres Bello Catholic University in the outskirts of Caracas, income is being pulverized. This disparity between the rise in prices and the population salaries is so generalized that there is practically not a single Venezuelan who is not poor. The study calculated the poverty rate from 13 different indicators such as income and access to services. If the average of these indicators was above 25%, investigators defined the person as poor. The study showed that 87% of people in Venezuela, one of Latin America's wealthiest nations back in the 1970s, were now living in poverty. That was a rise from 82% in 2016 and just 48% in 2014. The Venezuelan government has not released data on poverty since the first half of 2015, when the National Statistics Institute reported a poverty rate of 33%. Prices in Venezuela rose 4,068% in the 12 months to the end of January, according to the estimates by the country's opposition-led National Assembly, broadly in line with independent economist figures. The government did not respond to a request for comment on the study, but its supporters often accuse academics of exaggerating data and being in league with the opposition. Maduro blames the country's problems on an economic war waged by the opposition and business leaders with help from Washington.
Born into a devastating world and raised among the crowd, the Cloudwalker assumes a new identity and begins the unrelenting quest for truth. In this epic journey, he discovers dark secrets about aspects of his previous life that he once trusted. Through the Journal of the Cloudwalker, he shares both the traumatic hardships and the eternal beauties of his experiences. Fueled in the beginning by his unsettling thoughts and emotions, he learns how to find peace with everything he has woken up to. Dear Society by the Cloudwalker is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores.
This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
Delighted health insurance executives gather in an outdoor coliseum to watch a patient battle cancer. And a self-conscious flasher is fully clothed under his trench coat. This is the Onion Week in Review. While stressing that they would absolutely never consider doing anything of the sort, German leaders quietly admitted this week that they were pretty sure they could carry out another Holocaust if they ever truly wanted to. Quickly noting that the Holocaust was an atrocity that should never be repeated, no matter how easy it would be to do so, almost all members of the German parliament discreetly conceded that with their country's dominance of Eurozone GDP, pulling off the unthinkable genocide would not be the least bit difficult.
I'm just saying, hypothetically, that we very easily could do it. I mean, we definitely have the infrastructure, and the concentration camps are still standing.
In other news, a so-called Christian has an erection. A new study finds more children are growing up in single-parent households. And a real-life Nancy Drew traces the source of her HPV.
This is the Onion News Network.
The Call to Freedom is an opinion show. It's meant for informational purposes only. It is not licensed financial advice. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you hear from the Call of Freedom and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. I mean, come on, guys. Duh. It's a cryptocurrency investment and a political talk radio. Of course, it's opinions.
Computers are online. I'm gonna start loading software.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Call to Freedom.
Broadcasting live from Vertcoin Studios on LRN FM.
You're listening to Will.
You will listen to every damn word I have to say!
And Aria.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Stay tuned for political talk and everything crypto. That's right.
Broadcasting internationally on our BitPlus network satellite.
This is
the Call to Freedom.
All right, let's boot it up.
That's right. Welcome here to the Call to Freedom this Thursday live edition, broadcasting live from the Vertcoin studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. We went from a beautiful, sunny 74-degree day yesterday, no snow, all the ice melted. It was really, really nice to now 3-4 inches of snow on the ground today. So, and gonna snow through the night, possibly. So, yeah. It's welcome to New Hampshire, I guess. Summer one day, snow the next. Sounds like Tennessee this time of year.
I was about to say,
yeah.
Speaking of summer, for crying out loud, my kids are on the way to the park right now. The park.
Oh, yeah.
Like the outside park. It's 75 here.
The difference
Wow, it's cold here.
The difference is, and you know this as well as I do, Tom, in eastern Tennessee and middle Tennessee, when we get those really warm spells in the middle of the winter when they shouldn't be there, usually tornadoes and extreme severe thunderstorms and or both are shortly on their way thereafter. 93, great example. You had play outside summer shorts weather all week one week. Then that weekend, you had tornadoes tore up all over eastern Tennessee. Lenoir City, Loudon, Crossville. There were tornadoes touched down in Cookeville. Just a storm went right down, right up Interstate 40, and then took a right on Highway 95 and went out that way. Basically.
And y'all think he's exaggerating, but literally the tornadoes here follow the interstates.
Yeah.
Like they're better drivers than the actual people in cars.
Yeah. And then the very next weekend was the Great Blizzard of '93.
Oh yeah, we were
very
stuck.
next weekend.
We were stuck in our house. That was the time that my parents were most glad that we had natural gas heat. It was me, and we had to bring my grandmother over. She lived in a trailer behind our house at the time. And the night before the blizzard happened, I was having a sleepover with 3 of my friends who were missionary kids who were there on furlough. They'd been living in Albania and had been evacuated because of the war, and were hanging out at our house. They had never seen snow in their lives, and that was their first experience with snow. And I'm pretty sure they all moved as soon as they became adults to warm, snow-free climates as soon as they possibly could.
Right.
It's hard to blame them.
Well, you had a lot of people die up in Tennessee in '93 because of the way that the storms hit. Like hot weather, tornadoes put thousands and thousands of people without electricity, particularly up in the mountains. And then you got blankets of snow feet deep and no heat, no electricity. And people were running propane heaters in their homes.
Yeah.
And dying in the middle of the night. You had quite a few, entire families, mom, dad, children, everybody passing away at, the Discord.
Yep. And part of it was part of the reason that a lot of the poorer families up this way started to move back to coal for heat, and clean coal. Because of some of the things that went wrong with propane and kerosene heaters. And then along came, the Obama administration, and while I understand the desire to get away from coal for macroeconomic reasons, it sure did a lot of harm to people who were actually just trying to stay warm.
Well, that's just the way it works with government, though, is they're not really particularly worried about those people, the ones that you were just talking about, the ones that get caught up that, they're just trying to live, that's it. They just want to live. They don't want to die. They want to stay warm and not asphyxiate in the middle of the night in the process. They want to keep their children from freezing to death without having them smother to death. But I mean, what horrible people they really are. Because they want a cheap way to keep their homes warm, when everybody knows that, well, why don't you just do it our way? Why don't you just have central heat? Why don't you just have, there's no electricity. Oh, well, then why don't you have a $700 generator? Oh, I don't know, because we're poor and live hand to mouth. And the last thing that we bought that cost $700 had an engine, a transmission, and 4 wheels on it, and has taken us back and forth to work for the last 6 years. I mean, there are literally families that are like that.
So what you're saying is you have a detachable asset. Well, fines for you.
Yeah, right. It's not funny. It's sad, but I mean, you gotta laugh or you'll punch somebody in the throat.
You can do both.
Yeah, I know,
saying.
But one of them will get me arrested, which will also result in a fine. And
that's true. So far, they haven't criminalized laughing yet, but give it time.
For real, give it time. Now, we've got a lot of stuff here. Let's see here. There's, I don't really know where we want to start. We've got Maryland police officer shot and killed, and the second cop murdered in 12 hours from Fox News. So they're trying to freak out the Let's Back the Blue types. We've got Tesla being hacked by Bitcoin miners.
That'll be a good one for the 5 o'clock hour.
Let's see
here.
Did
you guys, since I'm here and since I'm the token evangelical Christian, did you guys talk about Billy Graham at all?
We weren't on the air yesterday because I have,
because you're dying.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'm not dying. I don't even really feel that sick, to be honest. I had a little bit of a fever, and my wife had strep throat. My mom had strep throat. I brought back the strep throat, and I'd just been feeling kind of off the whole time. But instead of ending up with a sore throat like a normal person, the strep bacteria actually grew down instead of up. So it grew into my lungs instead of up my throat. And so instead of like horrible tonsillitis like my wife ended up with, I now have what they call streptococcal pneumonia, which oddly enough hasn't resulted in a whole lot of coughing. They've got me on like these super horse pill antibiotics, like wide spectrum antibiotics. And yeah,
I'm amazed you were able to get those.
They just make me feel like crap. You know, the antibiotics make me feel as bad as the whatever this is that I've got, you know. But I basically feel like I have a sore throat in the top half of my lungs, particularly the right lung. But not today. Today, my left lung actually hurts more. And it literally feels like a sore throat that starts below the Adam's apple and then goes down into the lungs, is what it feels like.
Who says this show isn't for all ages? We always cover the weather and Will's aches and pains. We're covering the baby boomer desires here.
Yeah, man. Old folks, man. Old folks. So when we get back, I've got plenty of stories here that we're going to be getting into. Conspiracy theories about the Florida student activists, as well as, well, our new Fiverr ad is ready. So maybe we'll play that for you guys when we get back to... you want to get involved in whatever we talk about, give us a call, 603-283-6160. We'll be right back here on The Call to Freedom.
Day long while ago, I walked down dirt road, stood in a time of great.
Ross Ulbricht was convicted in early 2015 of running the infamous Silk Road Underground Market. The Silk Road was a gift to humanity and helped reduce the harms brought on by drug prohibition. For this good deed, Ross has been sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. Now, an appeal is Ross's only chance, and he needs your support. Please visit freeross.org, where you can contribute via various methods, including Bitcoin. Visit freeross.org. That's freeross.org. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. Facebook.freetalklive.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people like passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार सिर्फ और सिर्फ LRN.FM पे।
Up in paradise, I suppose. If you will tell me I'm the only one that you love, life could be a dream, sweetheart. Hello, hello again. Life could be a dream. If I could take you up in paradise, I suppose. If you will tell me I'm the only one that you love, life could be a dream, sweetheart. Hello, hello again.
All right, welcome back into the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. Are you new to the cryptocurrency game? Well, a lot of you out there are, and you know what? You don't want to have to spend weeks and days reading white papers and hours of your day watching candlestick graphs. You just want something that makes it easy. Well, let me tell you about Helium.com. Now, Helium is a savings accelerator, and it's powered by Uphold.com. And what they do is they've designed a bot, and it will watch the values of both regular fiats and regular fiats and cryptocurrencies. And when the time is just right, it'll move your money around for you, and it'll help you make a little profit at the same time. So you just put your money in with your bank card, maybe add a little Dash, some Bitcoin Cash, and then set it and forget it. Helium lets your money move you. That's helium.com/CTF. HELEUM.com/CTF. Going over to Helium, get your great offer for being a Call to Freedom listener. Now, we have got, I think I want to cover this, even though Tom kind of objected a little bit. It's not above me to cover
some real quick.
To cover some stories that, Tom's like, I don't know if I want to do that. Yeah, well, too bad. So this is from USA Today. So it's really the only reason I'm willing to talk about it is because this is a pretty big, well-known publication, and basically it says conspiracy theorists find Florida student activists too good to be true. Now I may disagree with them, and I also, in all honesty, I'm fairly certain that there are some adults in the background who are at least the very least organized and have encouraged this. But that's just my own opinion. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain, when you see 6-year-olds dressed in drag at gay pride parades, something tells me there's a parent or an adult somewhere in that situation that is encouraging this behavior.
I would agree.
In some far-flung conspiracy quarters, the articulate, determined Florida high school students leading a gun control movement are literally too good to be true. They're crisis actors. The assertion, which has rocketed around the internet, has even cost an aide to a Florida state representative his job.
Good.
Benjamin Kelly, District Secretary for Representative Sean Harrison, emailed a reporter for the Tampa Bay Times that several students who appeared on television criticizing the lawmakers actually traveled to different incidents when they happen. Both kids in the picture are not students here. They're actors, and they travel to various crises when they happen, he told reporter Alex Leary. Harrison said he was appalled by Kelly's insensitive and inappropriate allegation and fired him. I do not share his opinion, and he did so without my knowledge, he said on Twitter. Kelly also posted an apology. To the wilder conspiracy critics, the fact that the students are well-spoken and articulate seems to be evidence that all is not right. In fact, at least 2 or more outspoken students, David Hoggs and Cameron Caskey, have had some experience in the public eye. Hogg is the news director of the school TV station, and Caskey is a drama student and was once considered the class clown. Asked about the charge that protesters were not really students from the school, but actually actors, Caskey, well, they are actors. They are actors. I mean, let's just be honest. They just kind of admitted that these kids are drama students, and one of them is an aspiring, what's his name? Anderson Cooper, because most of us who are my age, mid-30s, we remember Anderson Cooper from our middle school days. He was the foreign correspondent for Channel 1 News, which was showed to countless high schools and middle schools all across the U.S. As like a morning 10 to 15-minute news program.
He had graduated by the time that I was in high school. We had, I don't remember her name, the Asian lady.
Lucy Liu.
No.
Or Lucy Ling.
Lucy Ling. Lisa Ling. That's right.
We did too. She was on the show when we were in middle school. He left the show around the time we got to high school and disappeared. We didn't see him on CNN for, another 5 or 6 years after that. But yeah. So we have an aspiring Anderson Cooper and a drama major or a member of or a drama student. Yes. Asked about the charge, she said that anyone who'd seen the school's production of Fiddler on the Roof knows that no one would pay me to act in anything.
That's pretty good.
Right? That's a pretty good. Delaney Tarr, who rode a bus, ROAD, who rode a bus for 8 hours.
For USA Today is a credible publication.
For real? Oh my God. So Delaney Tarr rode ROAD a bus for 8 hours to get to a rally at the Florida State Capitol, said she decided to address the crowd to demonstrate her sincere concerns over gun violence. I figured, why not stand in front of these cameras and show them exactly how I feel, she said from a podium. Show them that we're not crisis actors because speaking from the heart is what we do best. Hogg, who's been interviewed numerous times by national networks, has been a particular target of the critics as the students' gun control efforts have gained traction. He's been proved to be cool in stressful situations, even interviewing fellow students with his phone during the shooting as the gunman roamed the halls. So, yeah. Oh, wow. And he even was interviewing with Anderson Cooper on Anderson's 360. So the aspiring Anderson Cooper being interviewed by the actual Anderson Cooper says, no, I'm not a crisis actor. I'm just trying to cash in on a wait, I shouldn't say that. That's mean.
Yeah, he's probably not being paid. And I'm not saying
I'm not even saying he's being paid. I'm just saying that, he is he's an aspiring Anderson Cooper who's getting his big story.
This is a pretty crappy way to get a big story, though.
Well, yeah, but that's most people who get their big story don't do it, and they don't plan. Those guys who were were filming the bombing of Iraq as it happened back in the late 80s, early 90s. They weren't planning on having their hotel shelled, to get the greatest story of their lives. It just happened to happen that way for them.
But they were at least there to get a story. This kid was in school to do school stuff.
Yeah, and a story just fell in his lap.
Anyway, speaking of crisis actors who support gun control, Donald Trump?
Oh yeah, we're definitely getting to that when we get back. All the Republicans on their knees for the giant Cheeto. We love you, just as I predicted in 2016 when he was sworn in. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for work, or even if you're not, here's an innocent mistake you really want to avoid. Never return calls before listening to your voicemail. Your wireless phone sends calls you didn't answer into voicemail, and it shows you phone numbers for calls you missed. Important. Don't call back callers you missed until you have first listened to your messages. Otherwise, you frustrate people who bothered to leave messages by asking them to repeat a message they just left as your voicemail greeting instructed them to. If you're a job applicant, this alone could be a deal killer. And even if you're not, there are few things you can convey to someone that are as fundamentally maddening as, "I didn't hear you." With money and attention so scarce now, effective communication skills have never been more important. For more tips for job seekers and everyone else, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
Catch the Call to Freedom at its new time, weekdays from 4 to 7 p.m. The Call to Freedom is the only live drive-home call-in show in the U.S. with a segment devoted to cryptocurrencies. Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com, live from Vertcoin Studios in New Hampshire. Learn about what makes cryptocurrencies so great and why you should care about them. Updates on new coins and ICOs, and warnings of scams. Plus, hear from traders, whales, developers, and big names in the crypto world. You can also win crypto coins or tokens every episode. Just listen for the faucet sound and be the 5th caller to get free Dash, Litecoin, Vertcoin, Verge, or other cryptocurrencies. The Call to Freedom with Will and Aria, featuring Crypto Hour. Broadcast internationally through our BitPlus network satellite. Weekdays from 4 to 7 p.m. on LRN FM.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.fm. Unasikiliza wito wa uhuru katika LRN.fm.
Welcome back here to the Cult of Freedom on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live here from the Vertcoin studio in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. Watching the snow fall down outside. Enjoying another wonderful day here. So, I am just, I predicted this. I said this was going to happen. My Trumpkin, the friends in my list that are Trumpkins told me I was wrong. But, as usual, I'm not. And that's true. I've pretty much called it over and over and over and over and over again when it comes to Trump. And still people are like, no, man, Trump's not like that. Trump's not going to do that. He's not the biggest New York liberal ever elected to office. No, bro. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he was. Yes, he will. So, and the meme going around, tread harder, daddy, is perfect. It's absolutely perfect. And you know what? I said, let's see here. Aria, you're still in the room with us. I said, indeed. What, a year ago, maybe, that we would see, without a doubt, we would see the right cheering on single-payer health care and gun control. And lo and behold, here we are, beginning of 2018, and Trump's first or second major school shooting incident. And what do we got here? More gun control efforts than Obama. More gun control efforts than Obama.
Yep.
And I want to see what did Trump have to say about gun control in the 90s? A brief history of Donald Trump's stance on gun rights. Well, let's see. Donald Trump changing positions again. Refuse even limited restrictions on firearms. Oh, here we go. Despite recent statements on the campaign trail, Americans might remember that Donald Trump wasn't always such a strong supporter of gun ownership. Before he was a presidential contender, he called Republicans out who, quote, walked the NRA line and, quote, refuse even limited restrictions on firearms laws. In his 2000 book, The America We Deserve, he wrote, quote, I generally oppose gun control, but I support the ban on assault weapons, and I also support a slightly longer waiting period to purchase a gun. At the time of his book's publication, the real estate mogul was considering a bid for the presidency, but hadn't declared his intention to run. But in April 15th, 15 years later, and 2 months before he entered the presidential race, Trump changed his tune. I love the NRA, and I love the Second Amendment. I promise you one thing. If I run for president, and if I win, the Second Amendment will be totally protected. That I can tell you. Oh, my God. Oh, wait. I think we've got... Oh, here we go. Is it really?
It's a great honor to be here. I love the NRA. I love the Second Amendment, so you have to know that. And it's really something, having a room like this and having so many great Americans, great taxpayers, wonderful people, and hard workers. I want to... Go ahead. You can go ahead.
That really made me LOL.
So I'd like to introduce, they were standing with me. They love this group. They love the people, and they love the NRA more than anyone I know. They happen to be my sons. They're lifetime members. They were standing outside. I said, I'm going to introduce you. They know more about rifles. They know more about shooting. They know more about hunting. So I'm going to ask Eric Trump, Don Trump, and Don's wife, Vanessa. Come on up here for a second.
More about hunting.
We're totally going to listen to this. I want to bury this bastard.
Just great to be here. These are our people. These are the things we do on the weekends in our free time. We're shooters, we're hunters, we're outdoorsmen, we're sportsmen, and we love the Second Amendment. So thank you all for having us here. We look forward to being here all weekend.
Thank you. Thank you, Don. Thank you, Eric. Thanks, Vanessa. Thank you. I promise you one thing. If I run for president and if I win, the Second Amendment will be totally protected. That I can tell you. With that said, our country is in serious, serious trouble. We have a president who, in my opinion, is incompetent, doesn't know what he's doing.
Well, that's because he didn't pass any gun control
We have
laws
negotiators who truly have no clue. You look at what's going on in this crazy deal. I wrote The Art of the Deal. They should read it, because the deals that they make, you look at what's happening with Iran, you look at the tremendously horrible, it's inconceivable deal that's being made. It's going to make Iran a nuclear power. You're going to have proliferation all over the place. Everybody's going to want it to protect themselves. It's going to make Iran rich. And you look at what's happening where they go into Yemen, they go into all sorts of places. And by the way, if you remember, because I've spoken to many of you before, for years I've been saying, and I've been saying it loud and clear, that Iran is going to take over Iraq. And that's what happened. As sure as you're sitting there, they're now taking over Iraq. And then I said, hey, for years, keep the oil. And people said, oh, that was not nice. You know who has the oil now? ISIS has the oil. Because we have people that truly don't know what they're doing. We need a new president. We need new leadership. We need strength. We need people that are respected. Putin has no respect for our president. ISIS has no respect. And do you ever notice it's never ISIS, it's ISIL? The only one that says ISIL is Obama. It's the only one.
Right. Right.
He talks about ISIL. Everyone else says ISIS. He's got a little reason because a little part of region. But he's the only one.
The only people who say ISIL is literally everybody but Fox News. Fox is like the only people who say ISIS. Every year, if you go to the BBC, it's ISIL. If you
prefer
go
Daesh.
Daesh, if you go to any of the Middle Eastern...
Oh, that's how to pronounce it, okay.
Daesh, yeah. It means...
I know they don't like it, so I prefer it.
It's built around like a prophetic hadith that talks about like the people that come that are aligned with the Antichrist will be people of Ad-Dawla, and that's a part of... Like when you ask ISIS what their actual name is, Dawla al-Islamiyya, Ad-Dawla al-Islamiyya wa Shams al-Levant.
Now, I've heard that if you like call one of those militants Daesh to their face, that it just absolutely pisses them off. Because they know the implication.
Well, because you're basically implying that they're working with that their efforts are actually the efforts of the Antichrist,
which they are.
Yeah, and that's but that's something they're not really particularly, It's the fact that it associates them with the efforts of the Antichrist in the minds of Muslims is the problem. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
See. Because of those hadith traditions, that it makes that association. The people of Dawla, the people of the state, literally the word state, the people of the state, they are the ones who work for the Antichrist.
I guess that would make outreach a little bit hard.
Yeah. All right. If you want to get involved in our whatever topic we've been talking about in the last 10 minutes, give us a call, 603-283-6160.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Hey, I'm LRN.FM Program Director Ian Freeman. If you're listening to our free-to-air satellite feed in North or Central America, heads up. We've been on the same channel on the Galaxy 19 satellite since 2010, but now our satellite provider is moving us to a new channel on a different transponder. The original channel will stay on the air until the end of February to give you time to transition without any loss of service. So don't delay. I've posted the new channel details at sat.lrn.fm, but in case you're listening with no internet access, if you do a blind scan on your receiver, you should see the new channel at transponder 12, 11,936 megahertz, horizontal polarization, symbol rate 20,000, FEC 3/4. All that information is at sat.lrn.fm, as well as a link to our Patreon where you can support our channels for just $2 a month. Visit sat.lrn.fm for more information about our international satellite channels, and thanks for listening to LRN.fm.
LRN.fm is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.fm in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.fm. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way.
You can't do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me. Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa, Hey, who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't going to make it.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable! Why are you running from me? Because you scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You are listening to The Call to Freedom live on LRN.fm. تستمعون إلى نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.fm.
Welcome back into the Call to Freedom on LRN.fm. Broadcasting live here from the Vertcoin studios, and we've been talking about, the king of the flip-flop himself, Mr. Donald Trump, the Cheeto in chief, and how, he's always been in favor of gun control oddly enough, when he was talking to the NRA as he was courting the Republican Party's nomination. Now, what's his name? Ted Nugent. Well, he loved him some Trump, didn't he? Well, what do you got to say there, Ted? What are you trying to say? What do you got to say now there, Mr. Ted? You think Mr. Trump's on your side? He's your strong supporter of the Second Amendment? I tried to tell you fools. And I'll tell you what, we ain't done yet. You mark my words, before 2020 gets here, and if he's reelected, by the time we hit 2024, you will see dyed-in-the-wool Republicans cheer for single-payer health care. You just watch. Watch. I'm telling you, man. You're going to have single-payer health care. You're going to have gun control. You're going to have an expansion of many federal programs. We're going to have an FDR New Deal style infrastructure package, and the right are going to cheer for every single dollar of it. Anybody want to make a bet? I've been right enough so far. Anybody want to put a little money that I'm wrong? Give us a call. 603.
No, he's Trump.
603-283-6160. If you think I'm way off the mark, you think Daddy Trump is going to save us all, this is just posturing so the left will chill out, well, give us a call. Convince me, convince us, convince the listening audience as well that Big Daddy Trump is here for all of you and all of me. Number 603-283-6160. We look forward to hearing from you, so please call in and let's hear your argument on why we are totally off the mark on Trump and gun control. Because I said this while he was running for office. Trump is a New York liberal. He always has been a New York liberal. And when he gets elected, if he gets elected, he'll go right back to being a New York liberal. So this is exactly what I expected. Anybody? Am I the only one here?
No, I'm here. I mean, it's just
okay. I was waiting, Tom. Usually you're.
You want me to? You're not. Well, you're not saying anything that is easy for me to challenge. You know, I was gonna sarcastically read Trump's actual gun control tweets and pretend they were from Obama for a minute, but you cut that off by getting real, and it's okay because people need to get real about this guy, and really they need to get real about the NRA. Because even as he's proposing this gun control, Trump is still sticking... Well, I don't think he's sticking his nose up the NRA's rear, but he is letting the NRA know they'd better come along with him. And they will, because the NRA is not a Second Amendment rights group, but they're not a gun rights group. They are a gun industry lobby. We've talked about this numerous times since what happened in Florida happened. We'll talk about it numerous times again, because I'm not going to shut up about it. And they'll be really revealing their true colors more and more over the next year, just like Trump did. I mean, here, a tweet from Trump, 7 hours ago. What many people don't understand or don't want to understand is that Wayne LaPierre and the folks who work so hard at the NRA are great people and great American patriots. They love our country, and here's the key, and will do the right thing. The right thing, of course, being to go along
with whatever Trump says.
Which, by the way, includes, quote, comprehensive background checks with an emphasis on mental health. So, if you've ever been treated for any mental health concern, well, too bad. And never mind that I very much doubt that anyone who makes that proposal understands even what the term mental health means. This is the really good one, by the way. How often, since Trump was elected, have you heard Trumpkins say, the problem with these millennials is they don't have to join the army and go shoot folk like we did back in the day? Well, what's one of the things Trump wants to do now?
Reinstate the draft.
Well, we haven't gotten there yet, and actually he's going the opposite way. He wants to ban anyone under 21 from owning guns.
Awesome.
Which would include, you would think, anyone who had served in the military from ages 18 to 21.
Right. Liberate OPES actually makes a good point. Mm-hmm. This will... A lot of people that need mental health assistance will now simply not seek mental health services for fear that they could now be put on a registry list and lose their rights.
That already happens with veterans. It happens a lot with them because they're their mental health is tracked more closely than anyone else's, and they've been the specific target of regulations seeking to strip their gun rights because of mental health. And their mental health concerns, the ones who have been trained how to use weapons, and that's actually why.
Well, they're the they're the biggest threat to the government. Should there ever be any kind of an attempt,
we hope,
for Americans to finally say, you know what, we've just had enough. We have had enough. You're not going to step on us anymore. You're not going to rob us anymore. You liberals need to sit the hell down and shut up. We're going to fix this government the old-fashioned way. Somebody get a rope. Somebody find a tree. Somebody grab a rifle. We're going to go take care of this right now. And it's going to be the guys who used to serve that are going to be the real threat to the state. And
unless
they know
unless they really like the government that's in place at the time, which we're experiencing now.
Right now.
But, and Liberatopes, which is how I think you pronounce your username, mentions depression, that he dealt with a bout of depression. Well, for the uninitiated, I'm an alcoholic. I've been sober, going on 8 months now.
Which is considered a mental illness.
Oh, yeah. I have friends who know that I'm an alcoholic who have been trying to convince me that alcoholics should have their gun rights taken away. Like diagnosed alcoholics or people who have had DUIs.
I have a friend who was a Ron Paul supporter, then became a Bernie Sanders supporter, who went out of her way to get 2 middle school kids arrested in South Carolina today because the schools decided that a post that they made being stupid was a prank. And since they didn't arrest them, she created as much social media and harassed the school until they arrested a 12-year-old boy today.
Good Lord.
Over a Facebook post.
And that's happening all over the place right now, but that's the natural progression. That's to be expected.
But the problem is she's proud of it. She's like, I have ruined this 12-year-old's life forever, and I am so proud of myself because he's going to learn his lesson. You don't talk about guns. It makes some people uncomfortable, and you shouldn't talk about things that make some people uncomfortable.
Have you read about the high schooler? I don't even remember where it was. It was in a southern state, but he was arrested for uttering this is the exact phrase, I could buy an AR-15.
Yes.
Now, first of all,
we're worried about my own kids.
Yeah. Well, what I wanted to get to about that kid, all indications were he was saying this in the context of it's a problem that I could buy an AR-15. Like they were having a discussion about what happened in Florida in class, and he said this to illustrate that this was a problem. And they arrested him for saying it. For speech.
Yes. Well, I mean, they threw a kid in prison for speech because he said, what was it? Here we go. ISIS tweet, Chattanooga. Oh, never mind. That's not the one. ISIS tweet, prison. There we go. Virginia teen sentenced to prison. Yeah, that was the story I was looking at. Virginia teen ran a pro-ISIS Twitter account. He never sent money. He never there was never a person that they could say he actually recruited to go join ISIS, and yet he got prison time for speech. So, I mean,
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, February 22nd, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.51 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,324 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $36, and the average price of Bitcoin is $9,940. Antiwar.com reports the rebel-held Damascus suburb of eastern Ghouta continues to get pounded by Syrian forces, while the rebels have launched intermittent shelling hitting targets in the capital city. The death toll continues to rise. Over the past 72 hours, at least 310 people have been killed in the area, with over 1,500 wounded. The wounded include over 700 in dire need of treatment, which naturally overwhelmed the local hospitals. The UN and other aid groups are pushing for a ceasefire on humanitarian grounds as the situation continues to worsen, and civilians desperately need to be evacuated from some of the most heavily targeted areas. Getting aid into eastern Ghouta also needs to be a priority, with a substantial convoy arriving last week and raising hopes for a new influx, but the recent flurry of airstrikes means that more convoys simply can't safely get in. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports Venezuelans reported losing an average of 24 pounds in body weight last year, and almost 90% now live in poverty, according to a new university study on the impact of a devastating economic crisis and food shortage. The annual survey, published on Wednesday by 3 universities, is one of the most closely followed assessments of Venezuelans' well-being amid a government information vacuum, and shows a steady rise in poverty and hunger in recent years. Over 60% of Venezuelans surveyed said that during the previous 3 months they had woken up hungry because they did not have enough money to buy food. About 1/4 of the population was eating 2 or fewer meals per day, according to the study. Last year, the 3 universities found that Venezuelans said they had lost an average of 18 pounds during 2016. This time, the study's dozen investigators surveyed 6,168 Venezuelans between the ages of 20 and 65 across the country of 30 million people. After winning the presidency in 1999, leftist President Hugo Chavez was proud of improving Venezuela's social indicators due to oil-fueled welfare policies. But his successor, President Nicolas Maduro's rule since 2013 has coincided with a deep recession due to failed state-led economic policies and the plunge in global oil prices. Wednesday's study flagged Venezuelans' deteriorating diets, which are deficient in vitamins and protein, as currency controls restrict food imports, hyperinflation eats into salaries, and people line up for hours to buy basic things like flour. Maria Ponce, one of the study's investigators, told a news conference at the Andres Bello Catholic University in the outskirts of Caracas, income is being pulverized. This disparity between the rise in prices and the population's salaries is so generalized that there is practically not a single Venezuelan who is not poor. The study calculated the poverty rate from 13 different indicators such as income and access to services. If the average of these indicators was above 25%, investigators defined the person as poor. The study showed that 87% of people in Venezuela, one of Latin America's wealthiest nations back in the 1970s, were now living in poverty. That was a rise from 82% 50% in 2016 and just 48% in 2014. The Venezuelan government has not released data on poverty since the first half of 2015, when the National Statistics Institute reported a poverty rate of 33%. Prices in Venezuela rose 4,068% in the 12 months to the end of January, according to the estimates by the country's opposition-led National Assembly, broadly in line with independent economist figures. The government did not respond to a request for comment on the study, but its supporters often accuse academics of exaggerating data and being in league with the opposition. Maduro blames the country's problems on an economic war waged by the opposition and business leaders with help from Washington. Born into a devastating world and raised among the crowd, the Cloudwalker assumes a new identity and begins the unrelenting quest for truth. In this epic journey, he discovers dark secrets about aspects of his previous life that he once trusted. Through the Journal of the Cloudwalker, he shares both the traumatic hardships and the eternal beauties of his experiences. Fueled in the beginning by his unsettling thoughts and emotions, he learns how to find peace with everything he has woken up to. Dear Society by the Cloudwalker is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
This is the Onion Week in Review. A study finds that Americans need 6 hours of uninterrupted sleep at work in order to leave the office feeling refreshed and alert. Leading endocrinologists told reporters that more and more people are pulling all-dayers and drinking coffee just to keep themselves awake for meetings and conference calls, and that in order to be properly rested, employees should arrive at work, check their email for a few hours, and be sound asleep by 11:30 a.m. at the very latest.
In order for the body to properly function, adults need to make sure that they're well rested and they're not staying up too late at work.
The Lord our God, divine creator and ruler of the universe, announced Wednesday that he does not consider human beings his most impressive creation, saying instead that mountains are categorically superior in every way. Claiming that mankind was a good creation and worthy of praise, the deity explained that human beings simply pale in comparison to the slopes, valleys, and sheer magnitude of a snow-capped 20,000-foot mountain, and that while all humans eventually grow old and die, mountains last forever.
This is the Onion News Network. The Call to Freedom is an opinion show. It's meant for informational purposes only. It is not licensed financial advice. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you hear from the Call of Freedom and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. I mean, come on, guys. Duh. It's a cryptocurrency investment and a political talk radio. Of course, it's opinions.
Hold. Hold. Hold.
You better hold on for dear life, because it's time for the Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com. On the Call to Freedom.
That's right. It's time for the Crypto Hour here on the Call to Freedom, brought to you by Helium.com. Are you new to the crypto industry? Have you been wanting to buy in, but you don't want to spend all types of time having to read white papers and candlestick reports and all that good stuff? Well, let me introduce you to Helium.com. It's a savings accelerator powered by Uphold.com. It's really simple. They've designed a bot, and it watches the conversion rates between regular old fiat currencies and cryptocurrencies, and then it moves your money for you when the time is just right. Basically, Helium lets your money move you. Just charge your account up using your bank card or your digital wallet, and you're ready. Everything else is automatic. So go on over and check them out at heliumwithane.com/CTF. That's helium with an E, HELEUM.com/CTF. Get your special offers as a thank you for being a Call to Freedom listener. Now, it is time, as I said, for the Crypto Hour. And, Tom and Aria, according to one of you guys called this already. And because of that, we want to make sure we cover this story. Now, it's been discussed by CNBC, but we always prefer to try to stay in community if we can. So this is from news.bitcoin.com. says, according to Avi Mizrahi, one day ago, Tesla hit by hackers who were using its systems to mine cryptocurrencies. Elon Musk might be able to send his personal Tesla car into space. He might change the way humanity produces and stores energy. And he might even build a colony on Mars one day. However, even this real-life Iron Man apparently can't escape the reach of crypto mining hackers. Tesla, NASDAQ symbol TSLA, the electric car manufacturer based in Palo Alto, California, is the latest corporation to fall victim to cryptojacking, according to a newly released research from cybersecurity firm Redlock. The researchers' CSI team found that hackers had infiltrated the Tesla's Kubernetes console, a system for containerized apps that was originally designed by Google, which was not password protected. Within
what? Crying out loud.
Within one pod.
Tom, I told you that directly in the chat. I guess you were busy though.
Within one pod.
No password.
Within one pod, access credentials were exposed to Tesla's AWS, Amazon Web Services environment, which contained an Amazon S3, Simple Storage Service bucket, which had sensitive data such as telemetry. In addition to the data exposure, the hackers were mining for cryptocurrency from within one of Tesla's Kubernetes pods. The CSI team noted some sophisticated evasion measures that were employed in this attack. Unlike other crypto mining incidents, the hackers did not use a well-known public mining pool in this attack. Instead, they installed mining pool software and configured the malicious script to connect to an unlisted semi-public endpoint. This makes it difficult for standard IP domain-based threat intelligence feeds to detect the malicious activity. According to the research, the Tesla hackers also hid the true IP address of the mining pool server behind Cloudflare, a free content delivery network service. The hackers can use a new IP address on demand by registering for free CDN services. This makes IP address-based detection of crypto mining activity even more challenging. Moreover, the mining software was configured to listen on a non-standard port, which makes it hard to detect. I love how they're just giving you like a roadmap of how to pull this off, you know?
It would be very hard to replicate with standard technology, though, is basically what they're telling you. Like when they tell you they're using a non-standard port, ports below 1024 on your PC are like assigned to specific services, and usually that's the port that you would use for two computers to communicate with each other. A non-standard port means they're picking one of the other 50,000 or so ports out of the clear blue sky, which that takes some doing. That takes some manual configuring and some know-how. And then, dynamic IP address creation is a whole other thing. It's pretty fun, actually, what they've done here. Not nearly as fun, though, as Tesla storing sensitive telemetry data on a console which did not even have a password configured. That's some real amateur level stuff for the Space Boys. I got to tell you, even from a low level cybersecurity perspective. I mean, that's like leaving your That's like the guy who doesn't have a password on his phone and his girlfriend starts taking selfies and posting, "I hacked this," on his Facebook, except it's like a multi-billion-dollar installation belonging to a technology company. Plus, I'm sort of just floored by the fact that they were using AWS for this kind of data storage in the first place, because Amazon Web Services is good when you just got to store a bunch of stuff that you don't care that much about on a very cheap storage medium, but storing stuff that is even remotely sensitive on it is just not a thing you should do as a large-scale business of the size of like a Tesla.
No. I would hope that, I mean, this is Tesla, right? Shouldn't he already know that? I mean, I'm just saying.
You would think Musk would know this.
Just saying.
I
It
mean,
says here go ahead.
The master of technology, Elon Musk, who, is butchering Nikola Tesla's name,
right,
doesn't know how to password protect things.
Right.
I mean, that to me is that's the best part of this entire story.
Right.
Never mind the crypto that people got out of it.
Well, I think the smartest part of this story, though, is the last little bit where they were able to set the Kubernetes dashboard to where the CPU usage was not very high. That they basically configured the mining software to keep usage low and evade detection. So, and mining software, that's usually the big thing that's going to set off alarm bells, is that it's the amount of your computer that's used in mining.
Yeah, and I guess where they would get around that was you're talking about an installation that's probably got a lot of different CPUs. So you use a little bit from a whole lot of CPUs, it's a less noticeable footprint.
Very true, very true. Now, again, it is the Crypto Hour here on Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. Do you want to call in? Do you have a great crypto story, something awesome going on in the crypto industry you want to talk about? Give us a call. Do you want to comment on the idiocy of Tesla's major faux pas here? Give us a call, 603-283-6160. We'll be right back here on the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
All the birds that were singing are flown except you alone. Gone to leave.
Hi, this is Mark Edge of Free Talk Live. Michael W. Dean's book, User's Manual for the Human Experience, changed my life. In a culture that attempts to turn you into a compliant victim, this book gives you implementable steps on everything from how to be aware of your environment, walking down the street, to business, to how to handle a toxic person in your life. If you're a human, you need to read this book at least once. Go to Amazon and get the Kindle version, or paperback, or an audiobook of A User's Manual for the Human Experience.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp, is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with the Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer? You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm or follow us at Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm. It's all free, so sign up now at updates.lrn.fm for news updates delivered to your email box, facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets.
Did you know that Free Aid is a mutual aid, educational, and networking organization? At Free Aid, we support volunteers who provide first aid. We do outreach to the public about health and safety, and we bring together medically skilled freedom lovers. Free Aid is made possible by your generous support. Donors can receive great gifts like first aid kits, t-shirts, silver dime cards, and hoodies. The Free Aid Silver Dime Card Project is sponsored in part by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage, Freedom's Phoenix, and Don't Tread on Meme. Visit fr33aid.com.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 Liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
You are listening to the Crypto Hour on the Call to Freedom, brought to you by Helium.com. Unasikiliza Crypto Hour inayohusu wito wa uhuru, imeletwa kwako na Helium.com.
Some Zelda, yo. Sorry. Now, the mechanic that's had my car all day, I've been waiting on him all day, and like he closed 20 minutes ago, and then he finally just like calls as soon as like the music starts rolling. So,
that figures.
Yeah.
I
don't know. It's just that. Yeah, I know it went a little long, Tom. I'm sorry. I didn't have a choice.
No, I was just starting to get worried. No, it sounds like your mechanic used to be a cable guy.
Right. No, he's literally like the most renowned mechanic in the entire state. He's got like all this like piles and piles of awards that he doesn't even have room to put them all up. You know, like there's just a corner with like all these awards just sitting there because he ran out of room on his awards shelf. Yeah, like he's an awesome mechanic. Yeah. So the van,
still bad timing though.
Yeah, terrible timing. You know, the van itself. Like the funny thing is, it runs great. Nothing wrong with it really. But if we have a really hot, like yesterday, it was 74 degrees, and you had all this snow and ice melting off, and in the super hot temperature compared to like the ice in my driveway, it creates steam, a lot of it. And any day that we have like a ton of fog, or it's like a really steamy kind of type thing like what we just had, my car won't start. Got up this morning, it started right up, but we missed a whole day of getting things accomplished because my wife's leaving for Toronto. Well, she wanted to leave tomorrow, but it doesn't look like that's going to be happening because we also have a snowstorm coming in. But yeah, it's just terrible timing. But I got this story here. Just people out there in the crypto world, stop being stupid, because I see these stories and at first I'm like, oh no, maybe they're cracking down on Bitcoin. No, not really. Not if you don't do dumb things, like sell, like help someone launder $14,000 that's a federal agent, like if you accept like a bunch of, like $100,000 from someone and they tell you, this is money that I made from making this illegal substance. He's a cop. Just so you know.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know. He's a cop. It's just, duh.
Wasn't there like some episode of some show where a guy was supposed to be an undercover cop and he just walks up to a group of kids and goes, so anybody got some drugs?
For real, yeah. And cops
that's what
are,
I think of.
Well, that's what Peter Griffin did in Family Guy when he went undercover.
Says here, if
who
you're
has some code
about selling, and you know what? I'm going to have to say, news.bitcoin.com, boo on you for the way that you write this story in order to. It's almost as if news.bitcoin.com is trying to create fear around selling Bitcoin. That is unnecessary. Because this guy wasn't arrested for selling Bitcoin. It was what he was doing that was associated with that sale. That anybody with a brain will tell you, dummy, you should have said no. You should have just been like, nope, never mind. I don't want to, just never mind. You should have just turned around and walked away. But some people aren't smart enough to do that. Says an American citizen was arrested earlier this month for selling Bitcoin by the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, federal government law enforcement body under the jurisdiction of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. According to case records from the Southern District of California, Morgan Raccoons, a.k.a. Morgan Rockwell, is accused of laundering monetary instruments and the operation of an unlicensed money transmitting business. The government also seeks the forfeiture of all of his assets related to the matter, the records further show. With regards to the money laundering count, the defendant is accused of knowingly conducting a financial transaction with a law enforcement officer for the proceeds of a specific unlawful activity. He allegedly exchanged 9.998 Bitcoin, then valued at about $9,208, with an undercover agent for $14,500 in fiat that he was told was the proceeds of manufacturing and distributing hash oil, an oil containing THC, the principal psychoactive constituent of cannabis, and listed as a controlled substance under Schedule 1 by U.S. federal law. As for the count regarding the operation of an unlicensed money transmitting business, it's a more broad accusation, which the U.S. authorities can apparently pin on individuals who trade in large amount of Bitcoin, not at an approved exchange. And in a previous case where a local Bitcoin user from Michigan was charged, an agent claimed that any transaction of $3,000 or more must comply with Know Your Customer regulations. So, translation. Don't sell your Bitcoin to people that tell you that they are laundering money from making drugs. I mean, come on. How stupid do you have to be? I can't believe we actually have to...
People are pretty stupid.
I can't believe we have to say this.
They bought Pyramid Coin or whatever it was. Ponzi coin. So
I'm just thinking,
like,
dumb, if somebody's smart enough that they've got 9 Bitcoin at a point when Bitcoin was still only $1,000 a coin, that means that they're a pretty forward-thinking individual, more than likely. So why are they still so dumb that they're getting picked up for this? Like, what the? Oh my God! There's so much. Like, I just look at this and I'm like, how did you not know? When the guy was like, so hey dude, The money I'm giving you, man, I made this money from selling hash oil. And that wasn't an immediate red flag of like, maybe I should not do this. This guy talks like a cop. Maybe I shouldn't do this. So be warned out there, folks. Use a brain when you're selling your Bitcoin. Don't sell more than $3,000 at a time.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with AgristHosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to AgristHosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's AgristHosting.com.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
The 3 most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm.
Hey, I'm LRN.FM Program Director Ian Freeman. If you're listening to our free-to-air satellite feed in North or Central America, heads up! We've been on the same channel on the Galaxy 19 satellite since 2010, but now our satellite provider is moving us to a new channel on a different transponder. The original channel will stay on the air until the end of February to give you time to transition without any loss of service, so don't delay. I've posted the new channel details at sat.lrn.fm, but in case you're listening with no internet access, if you do a blind scan on your receiver, you should see the new channel at transponder 12, 11,936 MHz, horizontal polarization, symbol rate 20,000, FEC 3/4. All that information is at sat.lrn.fm, as well as a link to our Patreon where you can support our channels for just $2 a month. Visit sat.lrn.fm for more information about our international satellite channels, and thanks for listening to LRN.FM.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com, on the call to freedom on LRN.FM. أنتم تستمعون إلى The Crypto Hour. يقدم إليكم برعاية Helium.com. على برنامج نداء للحرية على LRN.FM.
Live from the Verticoin studio. This is the call to freedom. It's the Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium 47 here on LRN.FM. When you kill the faucet, be colorified to get some free coins. This is the call to freedom.
That's right. This is the call to freedom here on LRN.FM. Brought to you live from the Vertcoin studio and in the middle of Crypto Hour. Now, we do have... oh, wait, never mind. That's not the call-in line. That's somebody listening. We have another story here. Now, again, please, guys, let me say this one more time. I can't stress this enough. Don't sell Bitcoin to people who tell you that they're buying your Bitcoin with money that they made from illegal activities. I mean, I understand that you've got, money you want to make or whatever it is, or you're an anarchist and you're just going to do... Look, dude, if you sell your coin to someone for something that's an illegal activity, then you are going to go to jail. It's just the way it is. So... now, I do have a story. I want to get the crypto update in real quick. We do have a caller on hold right now that we need to get to. But I want to get our crypto update behind us so that we can get on to a new story that we've got from Tom for the Crypto Hour about the dropping in the usage of Bitcoin. But right now for the crypto update, our sponsors at Vertcoin, their coins are trading at $3.89, down about 10% after some really awesome announcements last week. We should have a member of their marketing team in here sometime next week. Zencash also down to $32.67 after seeing prices a couple days ago as high as $45 a coin. While it's down this low, I know I personally plan to buy. If you want to, then, you do the same. But again, this is not licensed, advice that we're giving here. This is just, I'm telling you what I'm going to do. I am going to get some Zencash because it's a good buy right now at only $32.67 in my personal opinion. Now, the big story that makes me particularly happy in today's Bitcoin and cryptocurrency update is that the current Bitcoin transaction median fee for the next block is only 49 cents. The next 3 blocks also 49 cents. And for the next 6 blocks, that fee has gone down to a quarter. 25 cents. Yeah, man, that's a big change.
That's like a 90% decrease.
Yeah. In a month. And you, Tom, you've got a story from news.bitcoin.com that's probably going to explain why.
Mm-hmm. And it's not all good news for Bitcoin generally, or maybe it is in a way. We can talk about which way this cuts. This is from Kai Sedgwick, news.bitcoin.com. Bitcoin usage falls to its lowest in months. There's never a bad time to be sending and receiving Bitcoin, but right now is especially good. Fees are at the lowest in 18 months. Hold on. Don't laugh until I'm done with the read.
But I mean, with the opening like that.
Well, wait. Fees are at the lowest in 18 months, with the average transaction value now under $1. This contrasts starkly with the latter quarter of last year when rising fees peaked at $34. There's a primary reason why fees have been dropping since then. With Bitcoin too expensive to send, people simply stopped using it as currency. It's not just the USD to Bitcoin market that oscillates. Bitcoin's fee market follows suit. Due to various factors ranging from network usage to SegWit adoption and hash rate, fees can rise and fall significantly. Throughout 2017, that trajectory was largely an upward one, culminating in December with fees becoming infeasible. Transaction fees have mercifully been declining since then, hitting an 18-month low as of February 21st. But given that daily transaction volume has halved in the same period, that's not surprising. This reduction in transaction fees will not be felt by all Bitcoin users. Anyone withdrawing from an exchange will still be hit with standard fees. Binance and KuCoin, for example, set a flat rate of 0.001 BTC or around $10.60 at current prices. As
a lot
Binance
of exchanges
CEO,
do that.
Yep, that seems to be it's being justified by Binance's CEO.
Well, like local Bitcoin also does it. You say you sell $1,600 worth of Bitcoin to somebody, then Bitcoin.com is going to take 1% of that transaction, whatever it may be, and keep that for themselves. But they'll take it in cryptocurrency instead of in cash. So you end up whatever 1% of 1,600 is, that goes to the exchange. If you like the mosque, we sell Bitcoin donations. We get Bitcoin donations in, and then we sell those Bitcoin in order to pay for gas to keep the heat going in the mosque, or to pay for the new floor. Well, the new floors came from a donor, but to put books in, or to do the remodel project for the interfaith prayer space, so we can build like a little church that's attached. So, yeah, we sell Bitcoin in order to do that, and all of those places, the fee is like a 1% fee of whatever the transaction is. And as far as trade volume going down, I can attest to that as well. Normally, this time 6 weeks ago, I could sell a Bitcoin and a half of the mosque's Bitcoin in a day, which was about 4 or 5 hours. Now, it could take me 3 days to sell the same amount. So,
because when demand goes down, of course, price goes down, but also finding real live buyers becomes more difficult.
That's right.
So it's something that, you don't experience as much anymore in the stock market because there's such a high volume of buyers. Not so when it comes to cryptocurrency. It's something to watch out for if you're investing in cryptocurrency. Don't think of it like a stock, because not only is it not as liquid, generally speaking, as a stock, but the number of buyers that are out there are smaller.
Well, I mean, your trade volume is down to just
by a lot,
just over 8 million in the last 24 hours. When the market cap of the entire market is down to $431 billion, and the 24 for. But it says here, though, Bitcoin's dominance is coming back. I saw it as low as 34%. I see it all the way almost to 40 now.
How much of that, though, it can be attributed to how many other coins have kind of fallen off the face of planet Earth in this last sort of purge.
True.
And really, you would have almost expected, with so many other coins failing and their markets going down, you might have expected Bitcoin to gain even more dominance than that. So, but overall, though, what we're seeing here is exactly what we've been talking about with Bitcoin. The high transaction fees and other issues, the ones that made Arya rightly chuckle when we started reading this story, have severely affected it as a currency.
Althea told me
We'll be right back.
This This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Boost Kid Essentials Nutritionally Complete Drink, providing your picky eater with essential nutrition and great taste in one drink. Visit us at kidessentials.com. To make sure your kids eat healthy, follow the 5-a-day plan. Serve 3 servings of vegetables and 2 servings of fruit daily. Remember, a serving could just mean a piece of fruit or a half cup of veggies. If your kids are picky eaters, ask a nutritionist about other sources. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
For ages, scientists have associated the Earth's cosmic location with a wide spectrum of interstellar phenomena. But a study from the International Astronomical Union says that not only is the Earth far from the most interesting part of the cosmos, but is in fact located in the lamest, least awesome part of the universe.
We're billions of light years away from any supermassive black holes, interstellar explosions, or really anything even moderately cool. Our nebula just sucks so hard in comparison to some of the things out there.
Not only is the planet Earth and its solar system, quote, basically the most boring region of the entire universe, but a number of irregularly shaped galaxies illuminated in the Hubble Ultra Deep Field prove to be infinitely cooler than any of the weak-ass, boring-as phenomena occurring in the Milky Way.
I mean, there's a black hole out there that weighs 21 billion solar masses, and it's 336 million light years away. Our black hole? It couldn't tear a mid-sized star apart. We're the cosmic equivalent of a cul-de-sac.
This is the Onion News Network.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Crypto Hour on the Call to Freedom.
تستمتعون إلى The Crypto Hour على برنامج نداء للحرية.
Is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring.
All right, welcome back here to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. It is the Crypto Hour, and we've been talking about crypto, just like we normally would do. Answering some questions waiting on some callers. We do have a caller over here on Discord. So let's see here. How do I do this? I think I do this and this. Caller, you're on the air. Oh, maybe not. Says I'm voice connected. Decentralized internet, are you there? Huh. Let me make sure this is here and I'll try again. Decentralized internet? Hello. Well, it shows they're there, so I think they're just trying to listen.
No. He was definitely trying to get in to make the money.
Oh, well. That's answered some questions. Waiting on some callers. We do have a caller over here on. Listen, we can listen to myself. I can just listen to myself talk. That's awesome. I don't know. I'm not worried about it. I've got. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we've been covering the story here on basically why have Bitcoin transaction fees dropped so much? Well, because people aren't really using Bitcoin anymore. Transaction fees got so high that people stopped using it as a currency as it was supposed to be used. And, well, it just kind of turned into this other unholy thing that they're not there anymore. And it's not, I'm plugged into the bottom. So I guess they decided they didn't want to talk. So, oh well, not a big deal. But we do welcome people to call in on our Discord line. Or you can call in at 603-283-6160, or you can call in at Skype, lrn.fm on Skype. So give us a call. You're welcome to call in about pretty much anything crypto during Crypto Hour. And right now, if you call, we've got an airdrop coming from the wonderful sponsors that we've got over at galacticsystems.net. Tear down the walled garden business model with Galactaphone and Gridphone and Galacticoin. Gridphone and Galacticoin. Learn more at galacticsystems.net. 603-283-6160. That's right, Tom. I forgot the phone number for a minute because I'm retarded today. Now
I had to get it off the website, but I'm terrible with phone numbers. We had someone who was.
I'm kind of distracted by the fact that I feel like I have there we go. Decentralized internet is back. Let's see if we can do this again. You're on Decentralized internet. Are you there?
What's up, BitConnect?
All right,
awesome.
We got you.
So, what's up, caller? What do you think, and why do you think it?
Oh, I don't know, man. I was listening to your show, but then when I went to call in, there's no stream, so I can't hear what you guys have been talking about the last few minutes.
Oh, okay. So
he was trying to win the money.
You were trying to win the money, huh?
I want to win the money.
All right.
All right.
What we've got here for you from our wonderful sponsors over at galacticsystems.net is, let's see here, let's spin the magic wheel in my crypto wallet for the show here. And what do we come up with?
Do we have a sound effect for this?
400 Canadian eCoins. So
all right.
If you have a Coinomi wallet, you just go over to the three lines, click Add Coins, go down, open the Canada eCoin wallet, and hang around. We will get some information to you. Actually, since you're on Discord, I can privately send all of this stuff to you in a private message that gives you the opportunity to claim your free coins. We try to get those out at the end of the night. You know, like I go home and I send them out after I get the emails from everybody. Our Vertcoin winners, as you notice, we haven't been giving away Vertcoin for a little while, and it's because that coin is kind of stuck in a wallet that is on Discord, and I'm having an issue getting it off. Basically, the wonderful folks over at the Vertcoin Discord chat room have set up a tip wallet just for the Call to Freedom, and the miners and the traders and the developers put 0.2, 0.1 at a time, and they give us Vertcoin to give away on the air. But since we've had some issues trying to get the Vertcoin out of that wallet, and I owe 5 Vertcoin to 2 callers at the moment, that we haven't been able to extract from the wallet, I don't want to give away anymore. It's the same thing with the Batacoin. We've got $15 in Batacoin that is just kind of sitting there in hiatus. We haven't really been able to get any response from the developers of Batacoin. But we have 400 Canadian e-coins here for you. Yes, 400 Canadian e-coins. So we'll get you the information on how to claim those. Who gives you the opportunity to win free coins every day?
Call to Freedom.
Awesome. Thank you for being a part of it.
Thanks, guys.
Very good. And we'll get you that information. Tom, you know the information. So if you could on the Discord chat, just send him a private message and then send me what his password is privately so I know how he can claim those coins. Now, the last story for Crypto Hour that I've got here, this came out a couple days ago from C. Edward Kelso, talking again about U.S. lawmakers eyeing national crypto regulations. This is gun control, Russia, healthcare. Members of the House of Representatives and Senate in both parties tend to differ, and often vehemently, similar to issues of national security and war. However, it appears cryptocurrency regulation is decidedly less divisive. Both traditionally pro-market Republicans and anti-market Democrats are producing bipartisan rhetoric in support of federal legislation to tame the crypto revolution. And we totally covered this on Monday, didn't we?
I don't remember this particular one, but it's always worth talking about.
Yeah. I like this other story that's going on in Israel, even though I'm not a big fan of their government. It says here an Israeli company that was created in January has gotten its business rejected by all the banks in the country. And, well, now they're going to sue. Without a bank account, an Israeli exchange would not be able to legally receive fiat transfers from clients, effectively preventing them from starting operations. The banking cartels are targeting Bitflash Ltd., a new Israeli company which was established to provide digital currency trading services based in Acre. It's asked the Tel Aviv District Court on Sunday to order all 11 banks in the country to open a current account without credit for it. The company claims that the bank's refusal to open an account for it is a violation of the law and shows lack of good faith, as some of them manage similar accounts for competing companies. The lawsuit states that there is a concern that many banks have illegally incorporated as a cartel and are unjustifiably preventing the opening of an account to the plaintiff, thus thwarting its activity and causing it an ever-increasing damage on every passing day that it's unable to operate. Unfortunately for Bitflash, the court ruled last year that a bank can refuse to work with a Bitcoin exchange in the case of Bits of Gold versus Leumi. However, by focusing on the banks as a cartel instead of individually, the company might persuade the court that they should not have the collective power to prevent the growth of a new industry. Now, you know what? Sometimes you have these people that are, they have these lawsuits, and it sounds kind of frivolous, but you know what? This might actually be something that we need to take a look into. And I like the fact that we can use this to just beat up the banks from 5-10 different directions. So I think we're going to continue on with the story when we get back after the break here. We are going to continue this story from Crypto Hour because, there's just so much that we can do with it. So you guys stick around. Call us 603-283-6160 if you want to get involved in this conversation about the banks and how basically we all know it. They are working together to prevent the growth of a new industry because it could put them out of business. Give us a call here. We'll be right back on the Call to Freedom.
The Shire Free Church offers a sanctuary to those seeking an escape from state churches.
The Shire Free Church is an interfaith, diverse group of people that may not share identical theological beliefs. As a member in or minister of the Shire Free Church, you are a sovereign individual and may be the faith of your choice.
We don't claim to have all of the answers.
We are open to all peaceful people.
We want to learn from each other.
What unifies the Shire Free Church and its diverse members is peace,
love,
and liberty. There are many paths to God, one for every individual.
The Shire Free Church does not define a specific path beyond those parameters that must be your foundation.
Peace as your way,
love as your guide,
and liberty as your light.
Learn more at church.shiresociety.com.
That's church.shiresociety.com.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm. Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, February 22nd, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.51 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,324 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $36, and the average price of Bitcoin is $9,940. Antiwar.com reports the rebel-held Damascus suburb of eastern Ghouta continues to get pounded by Syrian forces while the rebels have launched intermittent shelling hitting targets in the capital city. The death toll continues to rise. Over the past 72 hours, at least 310 people have been killed in the area with over 1,500 wounded. The wounded include over 700 in dire need of treatment, which naturally overwhelmed the local hospitals. The UN and other aid groups are pushing for a ceasefire on humanitarian grounds as the situation continues to worsen, and civilians desperately need to be evacuated from some of the most heavily targeted areas. Getting aid into eastern Ghouta also needs to be a priority, with a substantial convoy arriving last week and raising hopes for a new influx, but the recent flurry of airstrikes means that more convoys simply can't safely get in.
For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
Reuters reports Venezuelans reported losing an average of 24 pounds in body weight last year, and almost 90% now live in poverty, according to a new university study on the impact of a devastating economic crisis and food shortage. The annual survey, published on Wednesday by 3 universities, is one of the most closely followed assessments of Venezuelans' well-being amid a government information vacuum, and shows a steady rise in poverty and hunger in recent years. Over 60% of Venezuelans surveyed said that during the previous 3 months they had woken up hungry because they did not have enough money to buy food. About 1/4 of the population was eating 2 or fewer meals per day, according to the study. Last year, the 3 universities found that Venezuelans said they had lost an average of 18 pounds during 2016. This time, the study's dozen investigators surveyed 6,168 Venezuelans between the ages of 20 and 65 across the country of 30 million people. After winning the presidency in 1999, leftist President Hugo Chavez was proud of improving Venezuela's social indicators due to oil-fueled welfare policies. policies. But his successor, President Nicolas Maduro's rule since 2013 has coincided with a deep recession due to failed state-led economic policies and the plunge in global oil prices. Wednesday's study flagged Venezuelans' deteriorating diets, which are deficient in vitamins and protein, as currency controls restrict food imports, hyperinflation eats into salaries, and people line up for hours to buy basic things like flour. Maria Ponce, one of the study's investigators, told a news conference at the Andres Bello Catholic University in the outskirts of Caracas, income is being pulverized. This disparity between the rise in prices and the population's salaries is so generalized that there is practically not a single Venezuelan who is not poor. The study calculated the poverty rate from 13 different indicators such as income and access to services. If the average of these indicators was above 25%, investigators defined the person as poor. The study showed that 87% of people in Venezuela, one of Latin America's wealthiest nations back in the 1970s, were now living in poverty. That was a rise from 82% in 2016 and just 48% in 2014. The Venezuelan government has not released data on poverty since the first half of 2015, when the National Statistics Institute reported a poverty rate of 33%. Prices in Venezuela rose 4,068% in the 12 months to the end of January, according to the estimates by the country's opposition-led National Assembly, broadly in line with independent economist figures. The government did not respond to a request for comment on the study, but its supporters often accuse academics of exaggerating data and being in league with the opposition. Maduro blames the country's problems on an economic war waged by the opposition and business leaders with help from Washington.
Born into a devastating world and raised among the crowd, the Cloudwalker assumes a new identity and begins the unrelenting quest for truth. In this epic journey, he discovers dark secrets about aspects of his previous life that he once trusted. Through the Journal of the Cloudwalker, he shares both the traumatic hardships and the eternal beauties of his experiences. Fueled in the beginning by his unsettling thoughts and emotions, he learns how to find peace with everything he has woken up to. Dear Society by the Cloudwalker is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores.
This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
This is the Onion Week in Review. Allentown, Pennsylvania 5-year-old Trisha Billings announced from her dining room Saturday that the circle was no longer her favorite shape. The landmark declaration comes just days after the 5-year-old changed her favorite color from red to purple. While experts have struggled to determine what Billings' interim favorite shape will be, the 5-year-old assured reporters that the majority of her favorite things will remain consistent for the time being. Disney executives revealed in an interview Friday that all of the company's animated and live-action movies take place in a single unified universe, saying Never Never Land is actually mere minutes away from the jungle where Timon, Pumbaa, and Simba danced in a straight line and sang Hakuna Matata. Company heads stated that every character from Air Bud to Jiminy Cricket all inhabit the same interconnected world, just as Walt Disney envisioned it.
A lot of people don't know this, but Daryl Hannah's character in Splash actually lives in the exact same coral reef where Nemo went missing. And if filmmakers so desired, they could have Princess Jasmine, for example, hop into Herbie Fully Loaded to go watch the Jonas Brothers 3D concert experience.
This is Angel Clark, and you're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
Here we go, off the rails. You know, it's time to raise ourselves. It's freedom like you never knew. Go back or past, say the word.
All right, welcome back here to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. Brought to you live from the Vertcoin studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. Are you new to the crypto industry? You know, there's a lot of coins and tokens and exchanges out there, and they are promising you the world. But what are you going to do to separate the fact from the fiction? Well, Crypto Check at cryptocurrencycheck.org, they've got your back. They have a great rating scale, and they investigate coins for you. They look over them, check out the programming and the code, and try to contact the people who run the coins. Have discussions with developers and miners and traders. Try to discern the most important question. Is this a legitimate coin, or am I about to get scammed? So go over there, check them out, or possibly even help them out at CryptoCheck at cryptocurrencycheck.org, started by our very own queen of crypto herself, Miss Aria Demezio. So go on over and check them out. Again, CryptoCheck at cryptocurrencycheck.org. Now, there's a story here that you know what? I find it particularly interesting. And you know, that's the reason why we've decided to continue it on after Crypto Hour. I'm not a fan of the banks, and I love the fact that finally, in a court of law, they're being acknowledged as a cartel with way too much power and the ability to literally financially strangle their competitors out of business. It says here, according to this company, BitFlash, since its establishment over a month ago, it's approached a number of branches of each Israeli banking corporation for the purpose of opening an account. But they were outright refused on the ground that its business in digital currencies is not to the liking of branch managers. In some of the branches, the company was explicitly told that, quote, the bank's policy is not to open an account for those who deal with digital currencies regarding the nature of the business. According to the plaintiff, though, its attorney, Alon Huberman, the company emphasized to the representatives of the bank that it has no need for credit. Its accounts will be in perpetual positive credit balances, and that it needs only a current account that will allow the transfer of money from its clients inside Israel to its account. According to the company, some of the banks justified the refusal by claiming that they would not be able to trace the source of the funds deposited in the company's account. But even after it was made clear to them that the account would only be used to transfer funds from individuals and entities with a bank account at the same bank, removing this fear completely, they still refused. So, I mean, it's pretty clear by the fact that that know your customer has nothing to do with it. This is specifically saying we are not going to do business with cryptocurrency related businesses. And I mean, I know other people that run cryptocurrency related businesses. They're not looking for credit of any kind. They literally only want a bank account so that money can go in and be transferred. And that's it. They want to be able to put money in and then transfer money to exchanges. That's it. That's all they want to use the account for. They want to use so their account will perpetually have tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars in it, which I would think is something a bank would want. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tom.
You would think.
Well,
I mean, you're already
it depends on the goal of the bank.
You're the business lawyer here, Tom.
It depends on the goal of the bank. You know, if the bank makes money off the fees for transferring the currency, sure, but that's not a very good source for fees for banks. B, a lot of people, especially the kinds of people who just want a pass-through kind of account like you're talking about, would shy away from banks that make money that way. So
well, no, I'm saying is a person holding $100,000 in your bank not a good thing for your bank? I mean, is that not what your bank wants, is for you to keep as much of your green fiat in their account as possible?
Only if they can figure out how to use it to make money. And if you're moving it in and out with enough of a frequency that they can't like loan it out and make interest on it, or if having that money in their bank is imposing a liability on them that they consider a risk, then maybe not.
What liability or risk is imposed upon them? I mean, basically what they're doing is
insurance. You know, insurance and financial regs are the two big ones. And if the government is looking into what you're doing with your currency, then the burden of the investigation. And that is probably what their assumption is when it comes to crypto. Or at least that's their excuse. Now, what you're saying, they really don't want to deal with crypto-related accounts because crypto is a threat to them, is the real nitty-gritty. But if they were making an excuse, they'd tell you, well, crypto's used for a lot of crime, and we don't want to have to deal with the investigative burden.
Well, I mean...
So that's the fake reason. You're on to the real reason.
Right. Well, I mean, my question for the listeners out there is, do you think banks should be allowed to refuse to open accounts for cryptocurrency-related businesses. I mean, most of us are libertarians or anarchists, so that whole word allowed, you know, doesn't really fit in.
I say they have to be allowed.
Do what?
Well,
I would say they have to be allowed. I mean, they have to be allowed to run their businesses in whatever way they want.
Well, this I think is where where the whole cartels accusation holds up, is because you or I cannot say, okay, well, you know what? I see an opportunity in the market. I want to go out. I want to create a bank that is that's going to do business with crypto companies, and just go create that thing that's missing from the market, so to speak. But we can't do that. We are prevented by regulations, by these gatekeepers to the market from being able to go out and create this thing.
Right, but it would take more regulations, or more intervention rather, to make them accept cryptocurrencies. I mean, yeah, bring down the cartel, definitely.
I don't want the banks to accept cryptocurrencies. I'm just saying don't seal out cryptocurrency-related businesses, you know?
Well, I may have phrased it wrong, but that's what I meant. Bring down the cartel, definitely, but let's not create more regulations that would require them to do something.
Well, like say you want to, well, say you're a Bitcoin investor. Say what you want to do is you want to make investments on behalf of other people. So what you do is you have accounts at these different crypto places and you buy different cryptocurrencies. Your clients wire you money and you purchase cryptocurrencies, which you then transfer into mobile e-portfolios that you create for them. If you have that as your business, according to this, the banks won't do business with you. So now that's a whole new area of the market, you know, like basically crypto Dean Witter, that could completely be derailed and prevented from ever happening because of the power of the banking industry as it tries to slow the growth of the cryptocurrency industry. Love to hear your opinions on this out there in the listening world. Give us a call, 603-283-6160. Tune in with our Discord app. You can call in there or call us at lrn.fm on Skype. This is Will Coley with the Call to Freedom. We'll be right back after this here on the Call to Freedom on lrn.fm.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless free market non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. Facebook.freetalklive.com.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
You're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
تستمتعون إلى برنامج نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from the VertCoin studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. Give us a call here on the air, 603-283-6160, LRN.FM on Skype, or you can call in through our Discord chat as well, here to the Call to Freedom. Now, we got a story here, just came out, breaking news. I am pretty entertained by it at the moment, so we're gonna play this for you. So it's about 44 seconds. We're gonna oops, maybe I should turn off the bumper music before we do that. It's about Missouri governor. Well, he's been indicted. This is from CNN Politics, so I'm sure all of you will take it with whatever grains of whatever substance you would prefer. But it's a quick little introduction to what's going to happen. Maybe. Maybe not.
Missouri's governor denies allegations that he used a nude photo to blackmail a woman that he had an affair with before his time as governor. Eric Greitens admitted the affair from 3 years ago, and he says that he and his wife have worked through it. But his lawyer says there was never any blackmail, but that allegation came from the woman's ex-husband. He recorded a conversation he had with her without her knowledge. Affiliate KMOV says that in that recording, the woman says that Greitens took a picture of her while she was blindfolded, and also claimed that Greitens told her never mention his name or he'd release those photos of her. She also said he later apologized and told her he deleted the picture. Again, though, the governor has denied this.
Well, there must be some kind of evidence if he was. I mean, I would hope there's some kind of evidence if he's actually been indicted.
I'm going to take a wild guess and say that, like every male who's ever said, honey, I deleted those photos, he didn't.
Oh.
And that's your
yeah, he certainly didn't.
And they got
there's
found,
no way.
and now he's going to be in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Fun factoid, apparently this affair happened in 2015 from his Wikipedia article. Greitens, a Democrat until 2015, switched to the Republican Party in 2015.
Interesting.
How timely.
Well, I mean, it actually reminds me of that guy who joined the anti-Muslim party in the UK and then converted to Islam.
Yeah.
And he turned out to have done that specifically, as a political ploy.
As a stunt?
Yeah.
Well, that's the accusation.
Now, I'm not saying this is a stunt.
Well, no, but see, even with him, that's the accusation. Stunt. But there's no actual proof that's what he did, and he's the second time that's happened. It's happened twice now. Geert Wilders.
Geert Wilders.
Yeah, one of his right-hand men converted to Islam like 6 years ago, and then you've got this one in Germany that happened just this past year. So it's not it's not like it hasn't happened before. So but take it for what it's worth. This here basically that the GOP governor hasn't stepped down. I don't really see any calls for him to step down. Tom,
well, this indictment just came down an hour ago. Like, he was just arrested.
Yeah, but you would think that people knew that this story was out there, that there was a
only
threat.
for about a month. Yeah, it's only been out for about a month. They found whatever they found it darn quick, which goes to show you probably shouldn't take nudie pictures of people without their permission. Ask before you put the blindfold on.
So basically, the governor was having an affair with a married woman and took pictures of
her.
What does she have to? But she's not the one who's bringing the report. It's the ex-husband. Yes. So a pissed off ex-husband is trying to take down the governor. Okay, now that I can totally understand. Do your thing, man. Like, he slept with your wife, man. Have at it, yo.
It's her ex-husband, as you said.
Yeah.
Kansas City Star says the woman involved in the matter has not made a comment and has repeatedly declined to participate in any news articles. The governor's confession, was recorded without her knowledge by her ex-husband and released to the media without her consent.
Again,
wow.
You screwed my wife. You don't get any lube when I screw you. That's what this is.
Dang.
And you know what? This better. Okay, family values, Republicans, man. This better take down the governor. This better take this guy down. In Missouri, of all places, this should take this guy down.
Same Kansas City article. It does say a handful of Republican lawmakers quickly called on Greitens to resign. And earlier this week, while debating a bill that would outlaw revenge porn, Republicans overwhelmingly supported an amendment making it a felony to threaten someone with releasing a sexually explicit photo.
Oh my God.
That's totally not wink wink a reaction wink wink to this.
Speaking of being done with no lube, it sounds like some members of his own party, or at least the party he joined conveniently to get elected governor, might have known something that maybe he should have known too.
So what party was he a part of before?
He was a Democrat.
Oh, wow. Oh my God. So this is just going to be fodder for the, like,
it's fodder for everybody.
For Rush Limbaugh and all. You're like, you don't ever see regular Republicans do that. It's always they come from the Democrat Party. Yeah, I can hear it now.
Alex Jones will be calling it a false flag operation.
Yeah.
He was planted there by the Democrats to turn the Republican frogs gay.
Oh my God. Wow, man. This guy, they're gonna roast this guy over an open flame. The next 2 weeks is gonna be really funny. There's gonna be some really bad jokes that go along with this, and I can't wait to tell some of them. I really can't. I can't wait to tell some of them. Anyway, if you want to get involved, you want to weigh in on this story or anything else we've talked about today, give us a call, 603-283-6160, or you can give us a call on our Discord chat or Skype, LRN.FM. We'll be right back here on The Call to Freedom.
The easiest thing in the world for a reader to do is to stop reading, according to the late, great Barney Kilgore, who became managing editor of the Wall Street Journal in 1941 and grew the paper's circulation from 33,000 to 1 million by the 60s. And he'd be pleased to know that his paper is one of the few that people now pay to read online. Someone else pre-internet who realized that attention is fragile? Motown Records founder Berry Gordy. In the early 60s, when his label dominated the charts, he'd bring a dozen real people into the Hitsville, USA studios and audition songs. And he'd ask, if you were down to your last dollar, would you spend it on this record or would you buy a sandwich? Today, attention span seems like an oxymoron. For tips on cutting through the clutter, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
Free Talk Live.
In order for this government to be legitimate, it had to have been legitimate in the first place. And that means that every person who was involved, who was on the North American continent at the time, had to have agreed to it. And if it was set up by force, if it was set up at the point of a bayonet, then it wouldn't be legitimate. It wouldn't be any more legitimate than me sticking a knife in your ribs and saying, give me your wallet. Oh, you gave me the wallet. It's legitimate. So the very fact that this government was set up by force, it was set up by killing other people, means that it's not legitimate.
That doesn't even go into the fact that everyone who set it up is long dead. It's been assumed to be this real thing, this valid thing, because of the magic scroll. They wrote a magic scroll. You know, they got out a piece of paper and wrote it down, and voila, and now it's a real thing that has legitimacy, right?
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार सिर्फ और सिर्फ LRN.FM पे.
I have you.
Welcome back to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from the Vertcoin studio right here in Keene, New Hampshire. Joined today by my classic crew, Mr. Tom Gray and Miss Aria Demezio, both joining me from below the Mason-Dixon, live via remote. We've got a nice little crowd on Twitch today. And definitely got a nice little crowd on Discord right now. Almost Call to Freedom numbers. I mean, not Call to Freedom. Almost Free Talk Live numbers on Discord right now, and pretty close to Twitch numbers as well. So definitely happy about that.
Yeah.
Right now,
I'm hoping some more of the Free Talk Live crew like regular listeners are going to start to discover that we're here, because we definitely do things differently than our friends over at Free Talk Live. So you're not going to get a liberty overdose by listening to both. You're just going to get a nice long liberty high.
Right. And you know what? If you can't listen to Free Talk Live, you can always listen to Call to Freedom on your ride home from work. You know, when most people listen to talk radio. Now, there was a big name death, unfortunately, this week. I actually remember I read one of his books when I was a kid. It's one of the first books on theology that I ever read. I bought it because I liked the picture on the cover. It just it was very bright and vibrant. But Billy Graham passed away in the last few days. And Tom, you had you're our resident evangelical. You had something that you
I am.
You wanted to say.
Yes, Billy Graham, the Reverend Billy Graham, passed away. I am very glad that he is home with Jesus now and happy, and I wish that he was still here and his son had died instead.
Oh,
wow! I don't even think I would say that.
Well, there you go, because Franklin. I often,
Tom dropping bombs.
Well, not literal bombs, not the kind that Franklin Graham likes to drop on brown people, but
amen to that.
So people ask me all the time, what's an example of the kind of inward and outward change that you would see in someone between what someone who knows Jesus looks like and what someone who does not looks like? And I would say, well, Billy Graham, a genuine good Christian man who had all the fruits of the Holy Spirit. Franklin Graham, normal sinful human being. Terrible person. Exact same media profile, using it for totally opposite things. One of them genuinely cared about the souls of the lost and the well-being of other human beings. The other is selfish trash. One used the gospel to try to do good for the world, and the other uses the gospel to enrich himself. And that's basically the tale of it. Now, for full disclosure, two things that you should know. One, members of the Graham family do actually go to my church, somewhat extended. One of them posted a photo from like a family reunion in the 80s, and Billy was in the picture. So they're close enough that when Billy Graham was at the height of his popularity and notoriety, he was hanging out with them. Two is that my family has personal history with Franklin Graham, where he basically defamed my father to sell books and cost my father an elected position. And it was all because he did not have the integrity to pay a traffic ticket. Like, he got caught tailgating somebody, actually got caught tailgating a state trooper here in Tennessee. And gave the trooper the whole "do you know who I am" thing, and then tried to get out of showing up. He didn't pay the fine, for one thing, and then he tried to get out of showing up to court. And as anyone who has not shown up for court knows, you don't show up to court, you get a capias issued against you. My dad issued a capias, like he did for everybody who missed court that day, and Franklin Graham and his camp threw an absolute fit, and then Franklin Graham wrote about it later in his book about how my dad was an instrument of the devil and was just trying to persecute him because he was this good Christian fellow. And
wow.
And I will be raw about it for the rest of my life, because I see absolutely nothing from Franklin Graham to indicate to me that he has changed as a human being, because everything he's done since then has indicated to me he's just grown deeper in his own egoism. I know people who have worked for Samaritan's Purse, one of his organizations. They do Operation Christmas Child, where they send Christmas presents overseas. And if you get these people one-on-one, they will tell you that while Samaritan's Purse is an excellent organization, they really wish Franklin Graham had nothing to do with it, because he represents the opposite of what the organization and Christianity in general represent. All that said, Billy Graham was a genuinely good man. You will find virtually no one who says otherwise. I would defend him on that point to just about anyone, including the author of the article that you sent us, Aria. He did genuinely
I'll defend him on that.
You know, even in views that people would not like, you know, about how Christianity views homosexuality or anything else, Billy Graham always presented himself in a way where he was trying to show love to people. The same can't be said for a lot of evangelicals, and unfortunately, I don't think American Christianity will see another Billy Graham for a very long time, especially judging by the way that the politics have shaken out. Like, one of the things that, I don't have the exact quote in front of me, but Billy Graham in the 70s saw what was happening with the unholy alliance between the Republican Party and popular Christian leaders, and he said that if there was ever actually an intermarriage between one of the political parties and evangelical Christians, that it would be a horrendous disservice not for both sides of that and for the country in general. And he was right. And he, even though he had close relationships with a lot of leaders, and probably found more friends among Republicans than among Democrats, he never strayed into politics the way that like a Pat Robertson or a Jerry Falwell or anyone like that has, or his own son has. And that's just a testament to the fact that what he was about was not, you know, using the government to browbeat people into Christianity, or even into Christian morality. And that's a legacy that I wish more Christians would follow, and that I just don't. It's very discouraging that a lot of people will pay lip service to Reverend Graham's legacy, but not make any sort of effort to live his kind of life.
I mean, that's exactly the point that I would defend him on as well. It's exactly what you said. He never attempted to browbeat anyone who didn't want to hear his message anyway. That article I shared talks about a painful legacy he left LGBTQ people. I mean, what? Choose not to be bothered by it. You know, he wasn't out there doing Pat Robertson crap, or evidently his son's crap. I mean, he wasn't going up to people and saying, "You're going to hell, you need to repent right now."
Well, yeah, he was a completely different kind of evangelical. That's why people liked him. And then something happened, and the entire movement was hijacked by politicos, and, well, now you have what you have today. So, anyway, we'll be right back here with the final segment of the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. If you want to call in and give us a call, 603-283-6160. We'll be right back.
Ross Ulbricht was convicted in early 2015 of running the infamous Silk Road Underground Market. The Silk Road was a gift to humanity and helped reduce the harms brought on by drug prohibition. For this good deed, Ross has been sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. Now, an appeal is Ross's only chance, and he needs your support. Please visit freeross.org, where you can contribute via various methods, including Bitcoin. Visit freeross.org. That's freeross.org. Hey, I'm LRN.FM Program Director Ian Freeman. If you're listening to our free-to-air satellite feed in North or Central America, heads up! We've been on the same channel on the Galaxy 19 satellite since 2010, but now our satellite provider is moving us to a new channel on a different transponder. The original channel will stay on the air until the end of February to give you time to transition without any loss of service, so don't delay. I've posted the new channel details at sat.lrn.fm, but in case you're listening with no internet access, if you do a blind scan on your receiver, you should see the new channel at transponder 12, 11,936 megahertz, horizontal polarization, symbol rate 20,000, FEC 3/4. All that information is at sat.lrn.fm, as well as a link to our Patreon where you can support our channels for just $2 a month. Visit sat.lrn.fm for more information about our international satellite channels, and thanks for listening to LRN.fm. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Hi, I'm Derek J. To me, an activist's calling is to actively work to advance a cause. The cause for which I work is personal freedom. I believe my life is best when I engage in voluntary interactions and self-government. I reject the idea that anyone else has a higher claim to my life or my body than I do. I see people who call themselves the government as a threat to my personal freedom. I realize you may feel differently, but my relationship with the people who call themselves the government is completely involuntary. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.fm. Unasikiliza wito wa uhuru katika LRN.fm.
Welcome back to the Call to Freedom. I am not Will Coley. He had to leave unexpectedly and in a hurry. But I think, hold on, let me make sure that I think we have the other people here.
We can hear you.
Excellent. So,
how's it going, Daryl?
Talk about something.
All right.
Okay, well,
we've been talking about Billy Graham. Aria had something she wanted to say, and then I wanted to share a quote. So
I did. I mean, as the resident trans person and atheist, what is that music? Can we stop it?
That's the
I thought I did stop it. I have no clue what is going on here.
No, it's fine.
But,
you're just trying to get your workout on early. Go ahead, Aria.
I never really gave much thought to Billy Graham or his opinions. And I realize I diverge both from you and Will on this, especially. But it's not just trans people and it's not just atheists. Just about everyone is anxious to be offended over something that some person said, even if that person's opinion is completely irrelevant. Like that article I shared, it talks about Graham's message inspiring, that browbeating type of evangelical, and that may or may not be true, but that's not Graham's legacy. It's the legacy of the people who came behind him. I mean, they might as well say that Christ himself left a painful legacy for GSM people, or for the atheists out there, that Nietzsche is responsible for eugenics and Nazism. But I mean, yeah, here in Mississippi, I'm told regularly that I'm going to hell, but I don't really care because I disagree with those people. They're not causing me offense with that. They're not creating a painful legacy. They're not creating pain for me, period, with that. But to mix those type of people up with people like Billy Graham, who would say something like that not so directly, but who would do it because they genuinely care about the fact that they believe you're going to hell and they want to help you avoid that, instead of just telling you that as a way of executing some underhanded method of expressing their disapproval with your lifestyle, is wrong. I mean, we're dealing with two entirely different sets of people here, motivated by two entirely different things, and they couldn't be more separate, like you said regarding Billy and Franklin Graham.
Right. Like in the article that you shared, there's a story in there about a young lady in 1978 asked Reverend Graham whether he thought that the AIDS epidemic was a punishment from God. And he responded offhand, I don't know, but it's possible, and I think it might be. And the next day, he released a retraction. Not a retraction of the factual statement, but released a statement where he said, I didn't mean to accuse anyone. I didn't mean to imply that anyone who has AIDS is at fault. This was in 1978. This was when the mainstream, this is when the gay community itself was blaming itself for AIDS. And he expressed remorse over even suggesting it. Just not that long later, it was part of American political public policy to blame gays for AIDS rampantly. It still is.
I thought it was the government's fault.
It could be. They brought the monkey over, I'm pretty sure.
And now, I don't know which government,
I don't know.
but when people say screw the government, I always respond with, no, don't. That's how you get AIDS.
Ow. Anyway, Reverend Graham would have agreed in a different metaphorical sense, though. I was looking during the break for a quote, and this goes along with what Aria was saying. In Parade magazine, 1st of February 1981, there was an interview with Billy Graham, and they specifically asked him about conversations he'd had with Jerry Falwell. Jerry Falwell was the leader of the Moral Majority political group, basically the ones who founded the unholy alliance between the religious right and the Republican Party, and they asked him what he had said to Reverend Falwell, and here's the quote from Billy Graham to Jerry Falwell. I told him to preach the gospel. That's our calling. I want to preserve the purity of the gospel and the freedom of religion in America. I don't want to see religious bigotry in any form. Liberals organized in the 60s, and conservatives certainly have a right to organize in the 80s. But it would disturb me if there was a wedding between the religious fundamentalist and the political right. The hard right has no interest in religion except to manipulate it.
Yeah, that sounds fairly accurate.
Yeah. Imagine he'd be thrown under the bus today. The literal bus, possibly, if certain elements had their way. But that's what he stood for, and as an evangelical Christian, what some would call a religious fundamentalist.
Right.
That's where we ought to be, because it's proven over the last 30 plus years, he's been proven exactly right, that all the hard right cares about when it comes to religion is manipulating it. I mean, that's what you're seeing now with the rise of white nationalism. They don't care about Christian morality. It's a means to an end for them. And
right, and you also see this with some of the quote-unquote freedom of conscience legislation, to where, oh, well, I don't like the way this person does this thing, so therefore I'm going to claim religion in denying them services.
Yeah, when there is a slim category of things where you might have a Christian religious objection to doing something for someone else, but it's very slim, and for the most part you don't really need any protection for it other than to use as a weapon against others.
Right.
And that's, it's totally illegitimate for a Christian to say, for instance, they wouldn't perform CPR on Arya because she's trans.
Right, and
that makes no sense. No sense with anything in the Bible,
Those same people, largely, they'll point to that one passage in Leviticus, but just a couple lines over, it talks about don't eat shellfish, tattoos are bad. But I've never seen one of these, conservative Christians, and I'm using air quotes there, I've never seen them go protest outside of Red Lobster.
Yeah, they at least limit it to, like, Catholics.
I've seen them eat at Red Lobster after church.
Oh, so have I.
Yeah.
So have I. It's just one of those things of, they're selectively choosing what to wind up, claiming is part of their religion and using religion to justify their bigotry.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's why it's stupid that, GSM people are getting butthurt about it. I mean, their excuse for their bigotry is really kind of irrelevant. I mean, just ignore it and get on with your life.
Yeah.
As long as, they don't, marry government.
Yeah, and, it was largely the conservatives that wound up, forcing the entire creation of government-issued marriage licenses to begin with. And I realize that's not what you meant, Arya, when you said marry government, but, it definitely ties in to where, oh, well, we can't let these people get married, so let's make them get licenses, and then we can prohibit and then regulate and this and that. And, oh, well, we don't like that they're now using our piece of paper against us.
I mean, marriage licenses, one of the uses of them historically was to deny Christians the right to get married. That's exactly who St. Valentine was. We just got done with his holiday. But here's another quote that's, I think, is good to end the show on from Reverend Graham. This is from 1989. They were asking him again about Jerry Falwell's moral majority. Quote, "It would be unfortunate if people got the impression all evangelists belong to that group. The majority do not. I don't wish to be identified with them. I'm for morality, but morality goes beyond sex to human freedom and social justice. We as clergy know so very little to speak out with such authority on the Panama Canal or superiority of armaments. Evangelists can't be closely identified with any particular party or person." And that's Reverend Graham. Rest in peace, and I know he is, because he is in heaven where he belongs.
Yes.
Well, we'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully Will will be back with us. Thanks for joining us today on The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. Stay tuned for Free Talk Live.
This has been Daryl along with Arya and Tom. And yes, we will be back tomorrow. And you can find us on the Facebooks and online. What's that website, Tom?
CallToFreedomLive.com.
CallToFreedomLive.com. Stay tuned for Free Talk Live. Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love,